Hello, 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 humanity. Back again. I know I said I was going to bring you the casserole recipe yesterday, right? It seems like I'm overlapping now. I'm coming up with new ones, and I still yet have quite a few old ones that I haven't brought to you, but I'm really, really going to try to bring you the casserole because I really, really enjoyed that casserole. But maybe about 2 or 3 days ago. But anyway, to make a long story short, I did something real simple today. Humanity, I hadn't been able to go to the grocer, so I'm literally down to, I mean, just the bare essentials now. And so for me to come up with a meal today, something that would really be fulfilling, because my appetite seems like it's coming back a little bit, and I really just had to pull it out, just pull it almost. I felt like pulling it out of the wind, right? And so anyway, I went to the refrigerator, but let me slow down and go. This is something that I wanted to touch on because I don't know if some of you are dealing with that or deal with it sometimes. I'm looking. Well, I had, because I started talking to myself. Talk myself down off the ledge. No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But here's the thing. I see quite a few individuals, and I'm so grateful that they're making it. They've made it to the other side because, like I touched on yesterday, they give us hope. But with that being said, I'm finding myself here lately, before I started talking to myself, looking and wondering, I'm almost a year in. And I know I've had I had 2 months right after my birthday that were just pretty reckless. But nevertheless, we're talking about almost a year in, and it definitely works. There's nothing about it that would make me even think about, even entertain the thought of going back. And I'm grateful that my mentality has changed as it relates to eating, so that's a non-issue. But here is the issue. Watching individuals that they don't seem to be prescribed to any keto, low carb, low fat, none of that. They just simply just went straight veggies. They vegetarian. And I'm looking at these individuals, and I mean, they're literally they're small as a rail, and it's like it's overnight. And I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what's going on? I've been a veggie for what, over 10 years. I've had a lot of recklessness with fries and sweets and what have you, all that. But nevertheless, the veggie, eating nothing but vegetables, that has been the case for over 10 years. And it's like, what's going on? And if we're not careful, humanity, I don't know about you, but those of us in the struggle, I'm sure that there's at least one that feels the way I do. We can get into self-sabotage and that's something, my personality doesn't even lend itself to comparison and comparison type living. But it's like, the slowness of the weight loss. I've reaped so many benefits from the eating lifestyle, but the weight loss, it just seems like it should be a lot faster. And then I have to reel myself back in and talk to myself and realize, like I said previously, months ago, there's so many variables that can allow one person to lose weight so much faster than another. Metabolism, you know, stress factors, just so many different things. Because we release, what is that? I'm not a clinician, but what is it? It's a cortisol, something like that hormone that we release when we're stressed out. Not saying that I've been stressed out, but there's just so, like I say, there's just so many variables to why one person, maybe they're exercising all the time, and this comes closer to home for me. Maybe someone else is exercising, they're burning calories, and then you have someone else that gets virtually almost no mobility. And so a lot of that could play into that. But anyway, to make a long story short, I had to reel myself in and let just remind myself of that. And so I'm hoping that you too would be mindful of that. but getting back to the mentality aspect. So getting down low on all of my groceries. I so desperately need to go to the grocery store, right? So I basically have virtually very little, no cauliflower, no mushrooms, and what have you. So generally, my appetite spikes up like that. It's like, okay, that's not an issue. Whatever is available, it's getting eaten, and that's just the end of it. There's thinking about it, greasy, sweet, whatever it is. When I get hungry, if it's in grasping distance, yeah, there we go. But my thing was even and it was surprising to me as well, even with just the limitation of not having that much and needing to go to the store. I still, I'm thinking, what are my options in terms of cauliflower, mushrooms, turnips, various fruits, chickpeas, black beans, lentils, things like that. And it's almost like, wow, is this the same person? You know what I'm saying? Because literally, like I say, and I hate to keep, I don't want to be redundant, but if you're not used to eating, like I say, eating the equivalent of four individuals eating meals in one meal, the equivalent of four individuals eating bags of donuts, boxes of cookies, and then sweet treats, and then you're still craving sugar at the end of the day. Nothing that I say is going to make sense to you. I mean, absolutely nothing, because most people have not had those kind of cravings and that kind of trouble reaching satiety with food, just like having a stomach that has a bottomless pit. You know what I'm saying? And to just have, just not even think about it, just automatically. And that's how I know it's my mentality has changed the way I think about food. And like I said, I still have my reckless moments. I'll go to Burger King and I can order up three Whoppers, three of the Impossible Whoppers, and I can't eat them all in one at one time. But you rarely see people that eat three Whoppers in one day. But anyway, I'm just trying to give an example of how I can eat and how it can get real bad. But now I find myself, like I say, getting hungry, and it's like, okay, what options do I have? And I'm looking at options not from, really fat laden foods, high carb foods, foods laden with a lot of sugar and this, that, and the other. So, with my limited choices today, I came up with, okay, I'll have soup, salad, and bread. And keep in mind, my own homemade bread. It's like just the thought of not making a bread. I made a warm walnut bread yesterday, and I only got a slither of it because one of my loved one, by the time I got to it, she had eaten it all up. But and it's in one of those little small bundt pans. But even with that, knowing that she's not consuming yeast and sugar and all of the and not saying anything is wrong with any of that, but just knowing that she's consuming bread with walnuts, coconut flour, oat flour, various seasonings, and water, and we have a bunt bread. So that within itself is satisfying. So anyway, humanity. What I did, I'm really getting into this thing with turnips. They're healthy and nutritious. So all I did with the soup, I started with the soup first. No, I take that back. I'm sorry. I started with the salad. I had not even a whole. I didn't even have a whole head of lettuce, and I generally don't like iceberg lettuce. But that's all I had. I had a fourth of iceberg lettuce. I had a fourth of red cabbage, and I peeled most of it away because it had been in the refrigerator for a while, but there was still quite a bit that could be saved. So the part that could be saved, I washed and chopped that, both the iceberg and the red cabbage. I put that to the side. And then I added 1/4 cup of small chopped red onions. I put in 1/4 cup of turnips. And I'm gonna tell you, humanity, after I made that salad, I'm coming away now. My takeaway with a lot of the meals that I'm making with turnips, after I bake them, I don't know, the flavor is really, really, I'm really getting attached to it. I want to get off into butternut squash a little bit more and really, really heighten my seasonings. But anyway, to make a long story short, I really wish I had at least 4 baked turnips. I would have chopped them up real small and went right in with them. But anyway, remember, the personalization and the customization is key. So if you have more turnips and you find yourself liking the taste, or butternut squash or whatever, we're in this thing to get on the other side of the betterment of our health. So personalize it, customize it, go in with it, humanity. But anyway. And so I had 1/4 cup of tomatoes. I had just a few, maybe about 2 tablespoons of mushrooms. That's all I had. So I washed that, and everything washed and chopped. I put that in, and then I had, let's see, what else did I have left? Because I literally was limited to everything, limited on everything. I put in. Oh, I think I put in. No, I think I take that back. I think that was it. The onions, the mushrooms, the turnips, and the red cabbage and the lettuce, and yeah, the onions, and that was it. And so I washed and chopped everything. I put that to the side. But here's what I did, and this is something that I never do. But I was looking for that. I was looking for more flavor, and I wanted a more intense flavor as well. And so what I did was, and be careful with pepper, humanity. Just go through your seasonings and try to watch your salt, because what I did was I put a lot of pepper, a lot of black pepper on my salad. I remember, I think I told you guys, I had the tomato and basil seasoning. I put that on, and then I put a lot of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, and then the tomato basil. I did a teaspoon, and remember we talked about that. The tablespoons are the larger of the spoons, and the teaspoons are the smaller of the spoons. And then I put in the black pepper. I did 1 tablespoon, and I let all of that. It was almost like a dry marinade, and I just let that sit to the side, put the lid on it, and let that sit. And so I didn't have any dressing on hand. So I took 1/4 cup of teriyaki. Hopefully you can find the low sodium version. I took 1/4 cup of teriyaki sauce, and to show you how I'm just literally out of everything, I had some salt and sour packets from when I had gone to the restaurant maybe months ago, and I always store my soy sauce and my sweet and sour packets. I put them in the freezer, and luckily I did. So to get a little bit more tangy flavor, and don't worry about it being that much sugar, because the packets are so small. So I used 4 of those packets. I opened them up, poured them in the teriyaki sauce, went in with some of my Mrs. Dash Chipotle seasoning. I did 1 to 2 tablespoons of that, another teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of lemon, squeezed lemon juice. I found half of a lemon, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 4 of the sweet and sour packets. And all I did was I stirred that up, put that to the side. So I'm done with the salad. I'm done with the dressing. And so then for my soup, I didn't have any. I had no vegetable broth. So I took water, maybe about a cup of water, or maybe 2 cups of water, depending on how much soup you're making. And I put in, if you have coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I put in 1 celery stalk, washed and chopped. 1/4 cup to a half a cup of red onion, chopped. And then I put in all of my seasonings, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 2 tablespoons onion powder, 1 tablespoon of the tomato basil, 1 tablespoon of mustard, and either mustard, yellow mustard, brown mustard, Dijon, it doesn't matter. And then I went in with I think I went in with the buffalo wing sauce. I put 2 tablespoons of that, and so I let all of that come maybe about 15 minutes to give me a broth. After I got the broth, then I opened up a bag of stir-fried vegetables. This time I had the stir-fried vegetables, luckily, that had the huge broccoli florets in them. The other stir-fry package that I had, it just had just the strips of onions and bell peppers. So this one had the strips of onions, bell peppers, and the huge broccoli florets. And so I put that in. I had a half a bag of corn, whole kernel corn. I had that left. I put that in. I put in 2 small cans of pizza sauce, and then I put in a half a teaspoon of sage. And then I went back and after it boiled a little bit, I went back in and I put some of the teriyaki sauce that I made for the salad. I put that into the soup. And so now, after it's boiled, everything, all the vegetable ingredients are in. After it's boiled for maybe about 30 minutes, you need it to thicken up. It's still real thin. I didn't feel like the flour, even though I would go in with an oat flour or coconut flour. I didn't even feel like that. I just really, I wanted something different. So you know what I did? I went in with 2 tablespoons of polenta, and polenta is just like grits. But for some of us, grits they really, really they don't agree with my stomach a lot of times. And the polenta, I don't know if it's mild. I don't know the difference between the two. Oh, I do know the difference between the two. The polenta, I believe, has low carbs. Don't quote me on it, but I believe the polenta has a lot less carbs. And so I went in with maybe about a tablespoon of lemon pepper because I wanted some salt. And so when you taste it, you might not have enough salt, and just go in and after 30 minutes, and you see where you are with your soup. Oh, and the turnip, I put in 1 chopped turnip because that's the soup. It's a turnip soup. And if I had had about four turnips, I kid you not, humanity, I would have chopped and put those 4 turnips in because it really, really enhances the flavor. So anyway, there you go. Let that boil for about an additional maybe 10 minutes, and anything extra that you want to add in, throw it in. But this Sunday, today, humanity, some of us, we're going in the struggle, coming out of the struggle. We don't know where we are in the struggle. It really is good to know that there's hope for us. There really is. There's hope for us that have a struggle, that struggle with food. There's some that they're blessed. They don't have a struggle with food. They don't have a struggle with exercise. But that's just not the case for us. Some of us, the long way home is going to be a way of life for us. There'll be no shortcuts for us. We have to stay cognizant for the rest of our lives in terms of our health, of eating better, and I'm struggling really, really bad with trying to implement exercise, and I need it bad. And so some of us have a dual struggle. We have a dual struggle with trying to implement the exercise along with this healthy concept. But I really do. I'm hoping that the recipes that they bring you variety, humanity, and that they give you hope. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're like I was, having endless cravings, can't get enough sugar, and watching, and it was difficult. If you did bring yourself to the point to where you got enough willpower for maybe about a week or maybe about a month, and then you're watching other people eat meatloaf, eat mashed potatoes, eat a potato salad, eat bread, um, eat baked potatoes, laden with all kind of stuff. And, we're sitting there, and usually whatever it is that we've gotten enough willpower to sustain to for just a month or a couple of weeks is things that's flavorless. By in a month's time, it has become boring. And, there's no variety. There's, we love food and we love to eat. And so with these recipes, you're just like today, that soup and salad. And what are you eating? You're eating turnips, you're eating tomatoes, you're eating onions, you're eating pizza sauce. And then remember, that has lycopene in it. Your turnips, they're loaded with nutrition. Even your onions are loaded with nutrition. So the bread, you make your bread. And I've given you the bread recipe. I just made a simple turnip bunt bread. And if you don't see the recipe, all I did was took a half a cup of oat flour. I took 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. I took uh, I took one turnip, washed and chopped. I took a teaspoon of mustard. I took a teaspoon of black pepper. I took 2 tablespoons of buffalo wing sauce. And what else did I think that was it. And I, put all that together. And I think I may have taken maybe a tablespoon of a Colby cheese, chop that up. And it was still rather dry, so I put in maybe about a fourth a cup of water. I stirred that up. And remember, you with this, you don't want quite a pancake consistency, but you want to be right in that area. And all I did was you preheat your oven to 375. And then you pour your mixture into, I have a small, that recipe is for a small bundt pan, so you can expand it if your pans are larger. And I put that in the oven and bake my bread. And as a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to go and get my bread after I finish recording, and put some cream cheese on it. And can you just imagine, you know what I'm saying, I could go and make me some bread that brings me satisfaction. It's not loaded with carbs. It's not loaded with fat. It's not loaded with sugar. It's not loaded with yeast. And I can sit, if I want to, I can have 5 pieces of my bread and eat a little cream cheese. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're in the struggle, but we're in the struggle with tools that can help us get to the other side. I really do believe we're going to make it to the other side, to humanity. Well, with that being said, oh, and always remember, the music that you hear in the background, that's not mine. I want to still bring you that casserole recipe. I kid you not, humanity. It was really, really good. At least it was to me. And so, a lot of most of the recipes that I bring you, they're not aesthetically pleasing. But, the goal is to get to the other side and to be full. And so, some of you all, you cook a lot, you bake a lot. Fix it up, make it aesthetically pleasing. But just make sure that you're doing what you need to do, so all of us can get to the other side. So at the end of the day, the weekend is almost up, but we're with each other in spirit at the beginning of the week, at the end of the week, in the middle of the week. We're in the struggle and we're in it together. Okay, humanity, with that being said, take care. Bye.